Peace. What's good, guys? It's your host, JayThat'sMe. Let's talk about and discuss Monday Night Raw for February the 13th, 2023. This was a decent show. It was. It had some good parts in it, and it had some not so good parts in it. But that's Monday Night Raw for you in a nutshell. For most weeks. You know, you get a couple of good segments, and then, you know, from there, it kind of turns into utter garbage. But this show here was decent. So we kicked the show off with Becky Lynch. She's in the ring with Adam Pearce. So Becky gets on the mic and says the man has come around to Brooklyn. She welcomes everyone to Monday Night Raw and introduces Adam Pearce. So Becky says it feels good to beat Bayley in the steel cage last week, and she gave Lita a shout out for having her back. So Lynch apologizes for being so weird to Lita last year, and she's a true legend. Becky says she's been so distracted she didn't realize her path to WrestleMania 39 wasn't so clear. She goes on how she likes fighting herself into things, and Pearce likes making fights. So Lynch has an offer to fight in the Elimination Chamber tonight. What does Pearce think? And then Bayley, she interrupts. She comes out. Bayley says, if Becky is a bigger idiot than these fans, if she thinks she's getting into the Elimination Chamber. Bayley says Lita had to win the match for Lynch last week. So Pearce should veto should void the result and put Bayley in the chamber. They continue to argue back and forth, and then out comes Bianca Belair, and Bianca says she likes what she sees going on between the two of them. So Bianca suggests that Adam Pearce let them fight in the chamber. Pearce makes it a triple threat. So basically, if Becky or Bayley win, they're in the chamber. If they don't, if Bianca wins, they're not allowed in the chamber. So that's okay, but it really didn't need to happen at all. We really didn't need to add any more people into the chamber. It doesn't make any sense to me. One second, let me get some water. Hold on. All right. But adding more people doesn't make sense within the chamber. It doesn't. And it seems like Becky and Bayley are going to be glued to the hip going into WrestleMania 39, and I do expect there to be a fourth match involving Bayley and Becky. I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't. I have no idea. I can't even think of anything. You know, ever since they've done the steel cage, the feud has to continue, because I can't imagine a WrestleMania without Becky and Bayley. I just couldn't, you know. So it doesn't make any sense. You have to have something for these women to do. And it was funny also, before we move on to the next segment, it was funny how people online were saying that Trish Stratus was supposed to be at this show. She wasn't. So, you know, I don't know what they're going to do. They could do maybe at WrestleMania, they could do maybe Lita, Becky, and Trish versus Damage Control. I can see that happening, so that way everybody can be on the show and get on the card. That's what they might do, and actually, believe it or not, that makes the most sense. That really makes the most sense. So instead of us going into a fourth match between Becky and Bayley, we could just do a 6-woman tag match, and that to me would be the best scenario in all this. So Byron Saxton, he's backstage with Judgment Day. minus Rhea Ripley. So Byron says if they're ready for their big week, Dom, he says that he's confident in his stablemates. He's confident in his stablemates. He just talked with Rhea, and she's still on the promotional tour, but she's excited for Mania, and just as excited for Valentine's Day. And Finn says tonight they'll have the Street Profits, and if they want the smoke, they're about to get rolled up and smoked up. So that leads us into our first match of the night, that being the Street Profits versus the Judgment Day, with Judgment Day winning. Balor got the win via the coup de grace. And post-match, Judgment Day beat down the Street Profits. But Edge and Beth Phoenix, they come out to a massive pop. They're able to even the odds for a second, but then they succumb to Judgment Day. And Rhea Ripley, she comes back from behind and takes out Beth Phoenix with the Riptide. So that's okay, I guess. So we then talk about the Super Bowl, the MVP being Patrick Mahomes. So they showed that. Who really cares? They always do this stuff anyway. Who cares? It's not important. So Adam Pearce is in the ring again. He's got the contract signing to do. So out comes Brock Lesnar. So Lesnar is introduced by Adam Pearce. Pearce mentions that Lesnar already signed the contract, but he needs a second signature to make it official. Lesnar interrupts and tells Pearce to get to the point. Brock says Lashley to get his ass out here and sign the contract. So Lashley's music hits, but Lashley isn't out there. It's about 12 or so more security guards, which basically it's quote unquote enhancement talent or indie talent from other promotions, which is always pretty cool. A wrestling stable for years. So then out comes Lashley with a nice suit. So Adam Pearce says he doesn't know what this is, but Lashley can come to the ring. So Lashley says it's not going down like this. This isn't about Brock Lesnar, where he gets his way. Lashley recalls pinning Lesnar and says he's in the driver's seat. So they're doing this on his terms. Lashley takes a seat at the table. So Lesnar tells him to get his ass in the ring. Lashley said he had his agent, his manager, his lawyers, his representative, and even his kids look at Lesnar's contract. So Adam Pearce tells Lashley to come to the ring and sign a contract. And then Lashley says, nah, he's not sure if he's going to. So Lesnar tells Lashley to sign the paper. Fans chant Bobby's scared. Lesnar laughs. Brock says if Lashley doesn't come sign the contract, he's going to come out there and beat his ass unconscious and sign it for him. Lashley says Lesnar doesn't have the balls to do anything face-to-face. So Lesnar gets in, he exits the ring, and he takes out security guards, beats them down, and then Lashley spears Lesnar, and then he signs the contract. And that was it. So that's fine. I do suspect that there's probably going to be a fourth match involving Lashley and Brock. But like I said last week in my video, that Brock is the face and Lashley is the heel. It makes sense in this scenario. It does. So Lashley doing heel tactics is good to me. Next we have Mia Yim, aka Michin, versus Piper Niven. And I don't really care about this match. Piper Niven, she wins via the Loch Ness Slam. Who cares? So, moving on. Kathy Kelly is backstage with Baron Corbin. She asked about the split involving JBL last week and the comments he made. Corbin said it's been a depressing week. So Kathy interrupts him and says that we have to go to the ring. Something very important is happening, is going down. So then we get the segment of the night involving Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes. So Sami is draped out in all black, and he removes the hood. And he gets on the mic, says he's not here to hold up the show. There's someone he needs to say something to, and he's not sure if he's going to have the chance after Elimination Chamber. Sami knows Cody Rhodes is back there, and so he calls out Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes comes out, has a big pop. Cody takes the mic, welcomes Sami to Raw, and says what he wanted to talk about. That's Cody's new shtick, basically. He's been doing it 3 weeks in a row. This is his third week doing it. So Sami says Cody set the world on fire last week with his verbal confrontation with Paul Heyman for good reason. But one thing Sami can't stop thinking about is what he about when he said it's looking more and more like it'll be Rhodes versus Zayn at WrestleMania 33. Not 39. My bad. So Sami came out his way to look at Cody in his eyes and asked if that was just lip service or if he actually believed that Sami can beat Roman Reigns. So, Cody says his bandwidth has been dedicated, saying since he's going to win the titles, so he doesn't have enough BS. Have enough to BS Sami. So when he said he thinks he can beat Roman, he meant it. He believed it. Sami will most likely have his WrestleMania opponent, be his WrestleMania opponent. And then there's this is awesome chant that breaks out for whatever reason. I have no idea why. Cody respectfully says he doesn't think that that's what this is all about. It's what Sami believes, and if he thinks he can beat Roman. Sami asks Cody if Cody wants the truth. Then chant Olay. So back in Sami Zayn's NXT days. Sami says truth is he doesn't know because Cody hasn't seen him. Because Cody hasn't seen what he's seen while in the trenches with the Bloodline for 9 months. They always find a way, and the thing about this Reigns thing being in God mode, it's not a catchphrase. It's true. He really is as good as he says he is. He's operating on a higher level. Sami continues to talk about Roman's dominance and asks if he's supposed to believe. If he's supposed to believe he's really the one to take down Roman Reigns after all of it. Sami does believe he's capable of beating Reigns. He's capable of winning the title and capable of being a WrestleMania main event material. He believes that every fiber of his being, if not no one else, he doesn't know if he'll walk out Montreal champion this weekend. Cody goes on about how the fans know. Cody hasn't been where Sami's been with the Bloodline, but he's seen there's dissension within the Bloodline. That's because of Sami. Cody says Reigns may be in God mode, so put on a t-shirt because it sounds better there. But Reigns is just a mere man. Cody says he intends to finish his story, but Sami needs to finish his story. Cody says just one more thing. He doesn't want to see Sami on Raw next week because he'd rather see him at WrestleMania. Nice. I love it. So that last line of the promo was great. He's saying how Michael Cole said on commentary, Fans the story, fans the story, fans the story. Absolutely tremendous. Loved it. And this is great storytelling here. Love it. Absolutely good. Moving on. So, Nikki Cross and Carmella, they're backstage. Carmella asked Cross where she's been. Cross said she's been playing with her new friends. I'm guessing she means Sanity, probably. I don't know. Carmella asked what friends, and never mind, forget about it. Carmella just wants to get through the night and focus on Saturday. Carmella talks about their other teammate, Asuka. So she appears in a mask, and Cross and Asuka are both laughing now. Carmella dips out and says that they're both weird. Cross and Asuka stare at each other, and then Candice LeRae walks up. She asks Nikki why she keeps following her around, and she just laughs. So, there's that. So, Kathy Kelly, she's backstage with Corbin once again. He says he's better off without JBL, who was giving him advice while hobbling around his stupid cowboy hat. Corbin says that JBL is a has-been, and in the past, to forget about him. Corbin says it's time to remind people who he really is. He's sick of being disrespected. And then Corbin lays into Kathy for interrupting his interview with Dakota Sami Zayn in the ring. He continues to go on about how Sami can't beat Roman and how he was the last person to actually beat Roman Reigns. Corbin says he would have won the Royal Rumble if he hadn't been blindsided by Brock Lesnar. And then he would have went on to WrestleMania to beat Roman again. He knocks Cody Rhodes for winning and says Reigns will walk right through him. And then, so Cody, he's backstage. Corbin says he's not impressed with Cody. He says he doesn't know what people are. Corbin says Cody is a joke, his brother is a joke, and so is his father. So was his father. So was his dog. And then Cody attacks Corbin, and they continue to brawl. And then Cody takes off his suit, part of his suit. And Cody's jacked. So he calls for a ref. A ref comes out. We're going to end 2 prompt match, Cody Rhodes versus Baron Corbin. Cody Rhodes wins in about 3 minutes via the Crossroads. So that's pretty cool. I like this. Anytime you mention Cody's dad, he's going to automatically get super emotional and flip the fuck out. So, we get Natalya, Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez. They're backstage talking about Becky and Bayley trying to get into the elimination chamber. Liv and Natalya, they argue some more. And Raquel yells at them to stop and focus on the night's match. Save it for Saturday. So that leads us into 6-woman tag action. That being Liv Morgan, Natalya, and Raquel Rodriguez versus Asuka, Nikki Cross, and Carmella. With who won here? Asuka getting the win. So she wins via the Asuka lock. That's pretty cool. I love what they're doing with Kana here. I love it. This version of Asuka is so fucking good. Really good shit. Loving it. Oh my God. More Alpha Academy nonsense. Put these guys on NXT. Please, Triple H. Please. Every damn week. Damn. So, Otis, he's eating a hot dog. Chad Gable talks about how they were on top of the world last year. But something went wrong. He says he's not worried. He's going to rewrite some Alpha Academy curriculum. Gable takes the hot dog out of Otis's hand and says they're bad for you, which he's correct on that. So he tosses it and it hits Mansoor in the face. And the Maximum Models, they walk up. So Maxine Dupree, she introduces herself to Otis, director of talent for maximum male models. She says they're looking for the face and physique of their new campaign. She asked Otis if he's ever considered modeling before. So Chad Gable thinks she's talking about him, but he's not. But Chad says that he's done some modeling before back in his day, and he takes care of his body, but he sees himself more as a role model. So Mansoor and Maswa, they all crack up, and they joke on Gable. So Maxine, she shuts them up, and Maxine says she actually was talking to Otis. Not Otis. So Otis likes the sound of this, and she hands him her business card and says that she'll be in touch. Some really good comedic shit. And then Bronson Reed, he walks in the screen. So that leads us into our next match, Bronson Reed versus Mustafa Ali. Bronson wins in quick fashion via the tsunami. And he's my pick to win, one of my picks to win the Elimination Chamber. So, Kathy Kelly, she's backstage with Edge and Beth Phoenix. So Edge goes on about being sick and tired of the Judgment Day after all this happened. He said that they've been, they got one over on him and Beth, and this has been going on for over a year, but it's time to end it. But it won't matter at Elimination Chamber because what happens won't be pretty. Beth says they'll remind the Judgment Day exactly why they're called the Great Couple. I'm fine with this. Then we get Miz TV. So Miz, he introduces Rollins. So Rollins has on these big red clown boots, literally. Miz asks, what are those? He said, and Rollins says it's called style. And Miz don't know nothing about it. So, Miz feels like Rollins' attention has been divided lately between Logan Paul and the Chamber. Rollins says Brooklyn didn't come to here tonight to talk about that dumpster fire of a human being. They came to sing. So the fans, they sing Rollins' song, his theme. Miz says he didn't want to hear, if he wanted to hear singing, he would have went to see Taylor Swift. Rollins says that Miz is jealous because he got tickets to see Taylor Swift and Miz didn't. So they go on about Logan Paul and how Miz brings up how Steph was eliminated in the Royal Rumble by Paul. So Miz says discuss Paul in their interviews, but why won't he discuss Logan and WWE? So Rollins tells Miz to shut up, calls him Mike. Rollins says he doesn't want to talk about Logan Paul because Rollins says his whole life all he ever wanted to do was headline a WrestleMania, build the marquee, and he goes on and says that even Miz loves that WrestleMania dream, but Paul doesn't. Rollins says that Logan is selfish, soulless, and all he cares about is his own pockets, getting famous at anyone's expense. And the reason he doesn't want to say Paul's name in the WWE ring is because he doesn't deserve it. He says Paul wants in life, all Paul wants in life is attention, but what he needs is to get his teeth kicked in. Miz asks Rollins if he's just jealous. Rollins says Miz is stupid. So the fans chant Miz is stupid. So then the Miz berates Rollins and says that he main evented WrestleMania. He's done it before. And so Rollins isn't going to have that. So he takes out, he brawls with Miz. And he rips the set apart. Then Austin Theory comes into play for whatever reason. I'm so sick of this. So Rollins and Austin Theory, they brawl. And then Rollins hits the boot, takes out Miz, and then Rollins celebrates, and then Theory comes back to the ring and takes out Rollins with the ATL. And he's hoisting the U.S. title in the air. And it doesn't make any sense. I'm so tired of this shit. Like, I'm tired of the whole Seth Rollins, Austin Theory feud. It's not going anywhere. Like, seriously. Rick Boogs, he's backstage. So, he's approached by Elias. We also see the Hurt Business backstage, MVP and Jump Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. But they're not saying anything, so they're just talking. So Elias talks about how he and Boogs are similar, but he doesn't want Boogs to being stressed out, being compared to the legend of Elias. Elias tells Boogs that to don't let him get it down if he loses tonight against The Miz. Elias says good luck if he wins tonight, but they can do a collaboration one day. So Boogs is fired up, and he thinks he's born and bred to shred. And tonight, Thick Rick is going to shred Miz. So I do like that. Rick Boogs would have done so well in the fucking 80s. He would have done tremendously well in the 80s. And even in the 90s, too. Damn. Like, Rick Boogs is that dude. So, we come back from commercial. Miz is still laid out. He's able to get back to his feet. So, Boogs comes out. And Miz gets on the mic and says, there's no way this match is happening because of what just happened to him. So the bell rings anyway. And then basically Boogs curls Miz in the middle of the ring for a while. And then he hits a power slam for the win. So that's pretty cool. Chelsea Green approaches Adam Pearce in his office. And she says he knows that... my bad. So she says he knows who she is by now. She's not the same clown who deserves to be eliminated on national television. She sent a strong worded letter to Pearce's manager after what happened in recent weeks. Pearce said the letters came to him because he runs both shows. He's the one who responded and said he would take her complaints under advisement. Chelsea says then she's sure Pearce will treat her like the star she is. She wasn't ready for Asuka last week, and she wants a redo. Chelsea Green says she deserves to be in the elimination chamber, so why not put her in tonight's triple threat? Main event, Pearce says that's not happening. Green says she's not leaving his office until he puts her in. Green warns Pearce that she'll scream if he touches her because she feels like she's very threatened right now. So Pearce walks off, and Chelsea Green asks where he's going, and then she's wanting to come back, and she says hello. Moving on, so Byron Saxton, he's backstage with the Judgment Day. So Finn says they proved that they've had the upper hand on Edge and Beth Phoenix. He's starting to think that they like getting beat up every time, which is fine by him because it'll happen at the Elimination Chamber. So Dominic says that his pathetic father, Edge, and Beth used to all be good, but the game has passed them by. Damian Priest goes on and says that he'll walk out of the Elimination Chamber with the United States Championship. Rhea, she says she'll go on and win the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania 39. Rhea says Charlotte Flair likes to think she's on a higher level, but the only level she's on will be one that's below Rhea when she rises and takes the title at WrestleMania. And her rise begins this Saturday when she and Finn beat the so-called Grit Couple. And then the main event. Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch versus Bayley. So Bianca wins via the KOD. And this match ended pretty early. It ended at like 10:56 because I was like, what the hell? It was 10:56. I'm like, something has to happen, but nothing happens. Nothing at all happens. And to me, that's kind of weird. I don't like stuff like that. I feel like we should never, when you have 4 minutes left of a show, of a wrestling show, something should happen within those 4 minutes. But nothing happens. All they do is just show us recaps of what happened earlier on between, Lashley and Lesnar, and then, just going over the card for the Chamber this weekend. But I didn't like that. I feel like maybe Asuka could have came out and beat down Bianca. That would have been kind of cool. That's what I would have done. I would have had Asuka come out and beat down Bianca for at least 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah, for the remainder of the time, have Asuka beat down Bianca. Because I hope that I hope that Asuka does win on Saturday. She needs it. Either her or Raquel. But I'm really wanting Asuka to win. So on that note, thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like button, comment down below. And let me know what you guys think. The show was decent, Lashley and Lesnar, that the contract signing was decent. The matches were decent. The Miz segment was decent. The Cody and Sami was tremendous. That was tremendous. That was great. When Cody said, finish your story, absolutely great. But let me know what you guys think. I'm out. Peace.